Hey, Kerry Russell here from theblogmechanic.com. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to buy a domain name for your new WordPress blog. Before we proceed, I'm going to assume that you've already researched and found the best domain name for your WordPress blog. If not, do be sure to check out my blog post about finding the best domain name for your blog when the one you want is already taken. Okay, so once you've decided on a domain name for your blog-based online business, the next step is to buy the domain name. Now, I'm going to recommend that you purchase your domain name from Namecheap for a few reasons. Number one, they are cheap. Number two, they take security very seriously. The last thing you want is to be registering a domain name with a company that doesn't really take security seriously, so doesn't really go the extra mile to make sure no hackers can get into your account and steal your domain name. And number three, they offer a lot of top level domain name extensions. So .com, .org, .tax, .co, etc. Okay, so if you click the link underneath this video, it's going to take you to the Namecheap homepage. Now, just a very quick disclaimer, if you do purchase a domain name from Namecheap, when you click that link, I will get a very small commission, but at no additional cost to yourself. So let's get started. Once you're on this page, in the search box in the middle of the screen, just enter your desired domain name. Now, of course, I already have a domain name for my online business, so I'm just going to enter my real name, which is kerrylisarussell.com. Now, do be sure to add the .com to the end of the domain name, because the .com version doesn't always necessarily show at the top of the available names, which we'll take a look at in just a moment. I also do recommend that you go for the .com extension for a few reasons, but mainly because if you register something like .club or .tax and somebody owns the .com version of your domain name, then you're going to lose traffic to the .com version, okay? Okay. So once you've entered your .com desired domain name, just click the search bar to the right hand side. That is, of course, going to take us to a new page where you can see if the domain name you want is available. So at the top of my screen, we can see that kerrylisarussell.com is available. We can also see the price. Now for me, that's in euros because I'm based in Portugal. This will detect your location. So if you're in the UK, it will be British pounds. If you're in America, it will be US dollars, etc. So from here, simply click the Add to Cart button. And then you're going to be presented with some options. Now I'm going to assume that you are using a different web host, such as Bluehost or SiteGround, for your web hosting. And I highly recommend that you do not have your domain name registered and your web hosting account with the same company. There's a few reasons for this, but primarily for security reasons. So let's just say you register your domain name and your web hosting with the same company, and your web hosting account gets hacked. When the two accounts are together, that hacker can very easily transfer your domain name from your account to another account. It's called domain name hijacking. It happens all the time to ordinary people like you and me. But by keeping your domain name and your web hosting account separate, you're just adding an additional layer of security to your account. Okay? Okay. So, assuming you are keeping your domain name and your web hosting separate, then you don't really need many of the other options on the page. So all of these options here, you can skip them. Yes, you want SSL on your WordPress website, but that needs to be added via your web hosting account, not via Namecheap. So you can skip all of those options, and then we'll just quickly scroll down and see what other options are available to us. So there doesn't seem to be any more add-on options available there. So in the right-hand sidebar, just check the spelling of your domain name. You'll see that it's registered for 1 year. Mine is shown as $7.96, and then there's a very small ICANN fee. So the subtotal for me is $8.12. Once you're happy and you've spelled your domain name correctly, just click the View Cart button. Again, that's going to take us to a new page where we can continue purchasing your domain name. Now, we do have some options on this page. So starting from the top, we can see domain name registration for 1 year. Now, if this is the first WordPress blog that you are setting up, then I don't think you need anything more than 1 year. However, you will need to auto renew the domain name. I have worked with clients in the past who did not select auto renew, and for whatever reason, when their domain name was due to expire, they didn't receive an email from the registrar, so they basically lost their entire website. And in cases like this, if you don't have a full backup of your website files and your database, then you're basically going to lose all your hard work, okay? So select auto renew, and then the WhoisGuard option underneath, you can enable this because it's free anyway. WhoisGuard basically means that when somebody goes to the WhoisGuard website to search for a domain name, they're not going to see your personal data, okay, such as your email address, etc. If you don't use WhoisGuard, any random person can just search your domain name on the internet and find out personal information about you. So I highly recommend that you keep that selected. Okay, we'll just quickly scroll down. Now, because you are keeping your domain name and your web hosting account separate, we really do not need any of the other options on this page. So from here, in the right hand sidebar where it says subtotal, just confirm your order. We'll be taken to a new page where now you can create an account, okay? So this is really self-explanatory. So you just want to enter a username, a secure password that you will remember. Please do take a note of the password because you will need it to log into your account afterwards. And then enter your email address. Now I already have an account with Namecheap, so I'm going to enter one of my old email addresses. One I can type. And then I'm just going to pray that it will let me create a duplicate account. You can decide if you want to get Namecheap's newsletter, so I'm going to uncheck that, and then click the red Create Account and Continue button. Okay, that's not going forward. Oh, it's saying it's already, a valid email address is required. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on there. I'll just change my email address. Let's see if that works. Hopefully this will be a lot smoother for yourself than it is for me. Okay, the email address you entered is already used by another user. Please enter a different email address. Okay, I'm just going to pause the video and set up a new email address so I can continue with this tutorial. So if you continue filling out the information, that'll be great. And I'll see you in just 1 second. Okay, so I was finally able to enter an email address that was accepted. It's typical, isn't it? You do a live video and, nothing goes right. Okay. So I entered my details, I hit the continue button, I'm now on a new page, and this is the page that you should be seeing. So here you can enter some information. I'm not going to fill out these fields at the top, company name and job title, because they're not required to proceed. And I'm also going to uncheck I'm registering on behalf of a company. Most of you watching this video will not be registering on behalf of a company. So from here, you need to enter your postal address, your phone number, and your email address is already pre-filled. When you've done that, hit the continue button. So I'm going to pause the video again, fill out my information, and I'll see you on the next page. And I'm back again. Okay, so on the previous page, I've filled out my personal information. You should have done the same, and then click the red continue button. We will now be on the setup page. So here we just need to make sure this information is correct for ICANN. ICANN is just related to domain name rules and regulations and laws and stuff. So we have, just keep these drop down boxes as user default account contact, okay? Just make sure your contact information is correct, which you entered on the previous page. And if your billing contact address is different from your account address, then make sure this final option here is filled out. So you would need to add new contact. But for the majority of you, it's just going to be user default account contact. Okay, then we scroll down, there is the option to check or uncheck the WHOISGuard privacy protection. Keep this checked and then select save the configuration above to my default checkout settings. This basically means that in the future, should you purchase any additional services from Namecheap, all of these settings and all of this information will be auto-filled for you. From there, just click the continue button. And we're actually almost done now. We don't have far to go. Now we just need to pay for the domain name. Now you can pay by card or you can pay by PayPal. Personally, I prefer to pay via PayPal. If you do choose card, it's quite self-explanatory. Just fill out your information, make sure the address is correct. I would uncheck remember this card for later use. That's totally up to you. I think it's down to personal preference. I just don't like my card information being stored, okay? So I'm going to check PayPal. And then my billing's correct. Renewal settings for your purchase. So on here, domain name registration, keep that checked. Free WHOISGuard, keep that checked. We don't need premium DNS. So keep those options as they are. Okay, I'm seeing a message because I've chose PayPal. Let me just flick back there. I think I need to keep that checked. So I go to PayPal. Hopefully that red message has gone, which it has. So I'm going to check save the configuration above to my default payment settings and then click continue. Okay, now you just need to review your order. So check your domain name is correct, the spelling is correct. Just make sure you're happy with everything. Make sure you've got free WHOISGuard selected. You will then see your subtotal and the payment details information below. So from here, if you're using your card, then just follow the steps on the screen. If you're using PayPal, then just check out with PayPal. So let's go ahead and do that now. So I'll just enter my login information. Wait for PayPal to do its thing, continue, and then continue again. Once the payment is processed, we should be redirected to a new page. So we can now see that the order is being processed, and it will let us know once it has been processed. Oops, and that's my phone. That's a notification saying that the payment's gone through. Okay, you can rate Namecheap if you want. I'm not going to do that for the purposes of this tutorial. So if your payment has been successful, you should be seeing a screen like the one on my screen right now. I'll be seeing a page, should I say. You will have an order number. Just write that down just in case you have any problems with your domain name, but you shouldn't do. Namecheap are usually really good. Now from here, you don't need to manage the domain name just yet, or manage the Whois guard, okay? Now, assuming you're setting up your first WordPress blog, so a blog for the very first time, and you're going to get separate web hosting for the reasons that I discussed earlier on in this video, once you set up your web hosting accounts, you will need to update the name servers in Namecheap, okay? So the domain name points to your web hosting account. Now, I won't show you how to do that in this video because it's out of scope of this tutorial, but I do currently have a free training course called Complete Blog Setup. So if you need step-by-step help setting up your WordPress blog from scratch, then feel free to sign up for that course and I will walk you through the entire blog setup blueprint. Somewhere on this page where this video is now on my blog at theblogmechanic.com, you will see a link to subscribe to the free training course, okay? And I'm sure it will help you set up your WordPress blog. So this is Kerry Russell from theblogmechanic.com. That's how you buy a domain name. If you found this video useful, please do be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and also share it on your favourite social media platforms. That's it from me. Bye for now.